I mean,
For sure.
I hate to say it, I was looking at TikTok and Instagram quite often during those long exposés because, there's only so much of a baby crying I could take consecutively.
There's a lot of babies crying in this.
There's a lot of baby crying.
There's a lot of baby crying in
Maybe
here.
hear the
Pretty
same
sure-
thing I did when I was on acid.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Crying.
And there's even a baby murder. So
An abortion. Cool.
no, it's I guess
mean-
post abortion.
Post fetus abortion.
Hey, how's it going, movie lovers? Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Everyday Critics. I'm your host, George Lugo, and have a guest host today,
Daniel.
Daniel. If you haven't seen the show before, what we do is rate, review, and critique movies of all budgets, genres, and types. There's 500,000 movies roughly in existence, and we're going to try and chop another one off the block. This is an older movie, so quick note, spoiler alert. So we're about to spoil the fuck out of this movie for people who don't or do want to see it, either or. We're going to review Mad God by Phil Tippett.
I don't know about older. I was just looking
Came out in
it up
June.
right now.
Came out in June
Came
this
out
year.
in June this year. It
Oh.
came out a year ago in all the film festivals.
Yeah.
But it became available for us in the
In
States.
June.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
technically,
few
it's a long
months.
time because he's been working on this movie for what, 30 years?
Yes, I mean, this is it's a passion project that he's been working on literally for 30 years. He's been doing a little bit at a time. So like,
And a lot of bit of acid.
Yeah.
well, I mean, so he did acid one time. He mentioned this in an interview. He did acid one time with his cat. I forgot the name of the cat.
Cat acid?
I guess.
I would love to see that.
and then
That's the movie I want to see.
Existential crisis.
And then he wanted some influence, I guess, for his creatures for Return of the Jedi. That's probably when we got the Rancor.
Oh, shit.
So, but he said that was the only time he ever did acid was then. But I'm sure that spun a lot of creativity because that's all he does is he builds creatures.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of little Easter eggs that you would see throughout this movie. One of them is when they're going this panning shot over a graveyard. There's an Ed 209.
the idols. So
Oh, what?
A lot of the stuff that he worked on in the past.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, because he
There's
started this when he was doing RoboCop 2.
That makes sense.
So he had like a little Ed 209 model in the graveyard, kind of all dusted out. So it was
Yeah.
a little, throwback.
there's a little throwback in there. There's also the Cyclops from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. So it's the Harryhausen film.
Is that what I thought?
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, that looks
Yeah.
familiar. But
Yeah.
see, here's my take as a makeup artist who learned sculpting and all. When I was watching this movie, it very much felt like someone just playing with all his toys that he's built over the years.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Just
He gets to-
literally
he gets to
everything he's
show
had
off his
on
collection.
shelf. Yeah, everything he's had on shelf, all the molds he's made, all the skulls and whatever creatures that he's designed, sculpted wise.
Orange juicy, but.
Yeah, this is a little orange juicy. What is this though?
Oh, let's talk about the drink.
Oh, it's called a nightmare cocktail. I figured it would be a good one to use for this sort of nightmarish hellscape that Mad God sort of has in its film, like the heavy influence and shit like that.
And you didn't
Yeah.
watch this movie.
No,
Okay, cool. Let's just put that out there.
I did my job.
Yeah.
It also wouldn't be the first time. It probably won't be the last. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple movies that sometimes I haven't got, like, I didn't get around to.
But it's cool.
Oh,
We
okay.
saw it. So we're on the opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Yes,
So
this is gonna be
I
interesting.
really enjoyed this film. I love stop motion, and I loved a lot of the little scenes that happened, like with the assassin in the very beginning, the sequence with the humans in the middle, in the second act, and then in the final act. I kind of like how they rounded off with the new assassin, and they showed you the whole horde of assassins. Like,
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. I remember literally getting bored at 27 minutes in, texting you and be like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go watch Cobra Kai.
I'm gonna go binge. I can easily binge 10 episodes of Cobra Kai, and yet it
But you
took
can't
me,
do a half
I
hour.
struggled in an 80-minute movie, 83-minute movie. So
Fair enough.
yeah, but again, I want to preface this, but I too enjoy stop action and gore and all that kind of jazz, but this was not my cup of tea.
I think what made it probably hard to digest is that there wasn't a real storyline. There was no dialogue, so it was kind of like
It was just like atmosphere.
it's literally
noise.
just all it really what it was
sensory.
was sensory, and like it was basically a music video.
Oh, okay.
And I know a lot of people are
Against music.
no, but a lot of people are basically calling it like a Tool music video.
Oh, okay.
And
I
there's
can see that.
there's actually one of the albums lines up perfectly with it. I don't know which one. Sorry.
They're like fucking another like Pink Floyd, fucking
Yeah, it's like
Wizard
that.
of Oz. You got to take acid, listen to the Dark
Yeah.
Side of the
I
Moon.
mean, the entire time watching this, I'm thinking to myself, like, I need to be playing Rammstein in the background.
Right.
And this is like
Do us.
German snuff porn almost quality. Because one of the early scenes, it's a female doll
Right.
rubbing herself.
She's rubbing right where
Like, just
where the
going
clitoris
at
should
it.
be.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was just overly erotic. And then some parts were overly grotesque. But, like, the
It was
grotesque
very
doesn't
vile.
affect-
It's a vile movie
Yeah.
for sure.
It was just, it's one of those artsy films. I can see why it did not get a release or a theatrical release.
It did
Can't show a
actually
doll.
get a
Shut
theat-
up.
It had a very short theatrical release. I think it ran for a month.
Maybe just to be qualified for
Yeah,
the
but it was
Oscars.
also only in
Yeah.
select theaters, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they
So-
do that just to
The
be
Frida
able to
Cinema
qualify.
had it.
Yeah, Frida Cinema had it. I wanted to go see it
I
then.
know I wanted to as well.
But I didn't get a chance to.
I don't know. I mean, again, I'm a little upset with you for killing
Fair
30 minutes.
Fair enough. It is an hour and a half of your time. I get it for sure. But here's how I feel about movies, though. Whether you liked it or hated it, it's better to know than to just hate a movie
Absolutely.
blindly.
True.
So now you
Yeah.
know for sure, fuck that movie, and then fuck the rest of Phil Tippett's ventures, because he's going to continue Mad God.
Still?
Yes, Mad God is going to have. He's not going to do a. He's not going to do a. He's not going to do a movies and do like a mini series. So it'll be easier for him to film.
anthology series.
Yeah.
Maybe he could add
short little
Yeah,
things
it'd be
to
way
fit
easier
this.
to digest.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So this was like his big grandiose thing he's been working on for
Whatever.
30 years.
if he
You know,
wants
so
to burn his millions of dollars that he made over the years on this pet project, then fuck it. I know somebody doing a podcast.
let's talk about. Let's talk about.
Give me that. Oh, wait, he doesn't have a drink. I was like, give me your drink back.
Let's talk about the characters though, like just the literal, little stop motion guys. Since you have some background in, sculpting and stuff.
clay and so a
What's your take
big
on it,
part
yeah?
of this movie were these little very, very archaic, rudimentary, grassy looking guys. Almost like stick figures, but you can see like
They were like covered in
threads.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
threads of hair or some sort of like roots, right?
Yeah.
And the entire time, I just thought of it as he got his fucking art students to make this for him. And turns out there's a big chunk of the movie where they say, like, yeah, he got a lot of his art students or his film students.
Yeah, to help him with the project. Yeah.
One scene apparently took over a year just to do. Like, I was reading the little trivia stuff on the Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I can see how this is a pet project, but again, is this Scorsese level shit? Hell
All right. So I think if we're gonna take it to that level, I don't think it comes even close to Scorsese.
I just want to be able to kind of put this, like, I'm trying to figure out how
How to categorize it.
how do I categorize it?
Yeah, for
What do
sure.
I say I watched? Do I say I watched an overglorified YouTube video, a fan film, a student film? You know what I mean? Like,
To be
what is
honest,
this?
I would say it's definitely an artistic independent film. And
Right.
it wouldn't hold its own, I think, if it went to the Oscars, and they might give it a bullshit award for just being artistic, but it wouldn't win anything else. The only thing would be creativity. It's almost a marvel to look at because it's hard to take your eyes off of anything that's going on because there's so much happening, and the world felt huge considering it's a stop motion film. It actually felt gigantic.
Okay.
It was scaled really well.
Okay. I did get the size. I did get a sense of size from it, yes. But I mentioned this to you off camera. I felt a lot of the scenes were unnecessarily redundant
Yeah.
because it's shot stop action and they just want to be like, oh, we put in all these. Like, for
Yeah.
example, a character walking. You can expose that with 2-3 steps. But we see this guy walking through the entire thing and then doing a slow pan of a long shot, and this is eating up a good 30 seconds of time where it could have been done in 2.5 seconds.
For sure.
So
And then also that the time it takes to animate that 30 seconds
Yeah.
is literally weeks.
I mean,
For sure.
I hate to say it, I was looking at TikTok and Instagram quite often during those long exposés because, there's only so much of a baby crying I could take consecutively.
There's a lot of babies crying in this.
There's a lot of baby crying.
There's a lot of baby crying in
You
here.
heard
Pretty
the same
sure-
thing I did when I was on acid.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Crying.
And there's even a baby murder. So
An abortion. Cool.
No, it's I guess
mean-
post abortion.
Post fetus abortion.
Either way, I'm trying to really figure out how I want to categorize this movie as far as, you know what? We talk about how much Nope watching it in theaters was an experience and that adds to the movie value.
Yeah.
I can see Mad God as an experience. Now, do I need to experience this again? I'm good. You know, I don't need it.
Mm.
Is
You don't crave to watch it again for
But
sure.
I do agree with you as far as, you know what, at least I did watch it, so I have something to like compare it to and have a base of, firsthand experience as opposed to just reading what I read online.
Yeah.
So, all right, I watched it 80 minutes. Phil Tippett, if I ever get to work for you,
Sorry.
please don't see this video. I'm sorry, George, but I'm gonna bury this, But bro, I want your drug contact because
It's hard to find acid around these parts nowadays.
a 30-year trip. He had a 30-year trip. That's what this was. So
It definitely felt like that. And there was so much, it's so crazy, some of the things that were happening in there. Like there's this one part where the assassin is walking by these giants that are being electrocuted, like they're in electric chairs.
Right.
And underneath them, they're shitting. They're just shitting. Right. And it's all going into a tube. Right.
but this
And he
shitting
keeps-
a lot. Like you would
there's a
run out
lot
after the
of-
first or two, but like
Yeah. They're
there
just,
shouldn't be anything left to shit.
yeah,
if
they're
you
just
gotta shit.
literally shitting the whole time. And it's going into like a big funnel. And that funnel goes into an even larger giant. Like he's eating it.
Yeah.
What happens is I guess he creates something after he eats that, like that green liquid. And they use that green liquid to make those little,
Human.
the little hairy human guys, like the little,
Slaves.
the pawns.
That's weird.
So what I read about this movie is that it's supposed to be a metaphor for a machine. Like we're all cogs in a
It's all
machine.
cogs in a
I thought it was a
machine.
bit about religion as well.
I mean,
There's definitely some religious hints in there, but I mean, it definitely leans more towards like the machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of took it in a little more political machine, like to the man. But either way, the overall sense is that everything is just all systematic, all
So like a bit more like Fritz Lang's Metropolis kind of thing, or machine shit like that.
It's
Slave
just
labor.
Not
steampunk,
really. Yeah.
grim, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
It's-
I have
it's-
no words for it.
It's if you're not into that at all, like that grotesque, vile like type of world,
Right.
then this is definitely something that's gonna put you off. And I always like watching stuff that's kind of gruesome, in many
go out of the
ways.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I enjoyed that aspect. Definitely like a very niche audience. Let's talk about the assassin and his briefcase.
okay.
So
Um,
we notice that he walks before he gets to his destination. When he passes by a whole bunch of hints, like the other assassins have previously been there. He gets to the spot where all the briefcases are. There's literally mountains and mountains of briefcases. And then he sets his down. He opens it up, and it's like a timer with an explosive.
Right.
So I'm assuming that he's trying to blow up the machine, like the resistance,
Mm.
But the second he opens it up and interacts with that world, he kind of gets taken out by like a scorpion spider monster,
giant creature.
giant creature.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even get to blow up the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And then after that, because that's like the first act. So in the second act, it's people. It starts losing people here.
Right.
They take the assassin, and you see like a building, but they have like one walls dissolved, so you can see all the rooms in this building, and they're like operating rooms, and you see
You're breaking the fourth wall, basically.
breaking the fourth wall, and you find out that those are all the other assassins. And so he's sitting there. They took off all of his garb and whatnot, and they basically go to town on him. They operate him. They open up his chest. He's still alive when this is happening too, which is fucking ridiculous.
Brutal.
So they start digging into him, and what they're pulling out is like they're pulling out coins and jewelry and all kinds of
Why
stuff.
he died? His lungs were filled with candy.
I definitely got lost on that.
It's pretty gory, and I don't even understand how he was that deep, because the doctor was like, elbow deep into his body, pulling shit out.
Should have gone through his other side of his, like, through
And
his
he's
back.
alive the whole time. Like, they literally pull everything out, and they finally pull out the little baby out of him.
Pregnant?
It looks like a mealworm with a mouth covered in hair.
Okay.
That's kind of what it looks like, and it's crying, has the big human baby cry and everything. It's so unsettling.
Human babies suck. No offense.
Yeah, and the and you know the surgical team themselves are actually, they're kind of unnerving because they have a weird twitch about them, and they move kind of like an awkward,
Like in Silent Hill kind of
it's
shit.
kind of like that. It's actually kind of like Silent Hill in that sense. And then the assassin is still not dead even after all that. And so they finally take a drill bit and they're drilling into his skull,
Right.
and they finally kill him at that point. They fucking pull the drill bit out and they shove like a fucking scope down his head, and they're looking into his brain. And I think this is
That's
when,
how you do it.
yeah, the whole thing pans off to a whole nother section. I think they're looking into a previous life.
Like his memories or something?
Yeah,
like
like
that?
his memories.
Because now it's basically act 2.
Yeah.
The second half is you're watching another assassin do the same fucking trek all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
Drop pod and then doing his walk. And I'm like,
But I think that last assassin is a totally new one. When they give him his map, it's no longer a paper map, because the paper map was falling apart the whole time. And I think they're like, okay, we fucked up with the paper map. They gave him one that was like it looked like leather or like a hide or some kind, all stitched together.
Smart.
It's definitely weird. It's definitely unnerving. Like I said, if you like any type of that vile, grotesque type world, like you'll probably enjoy it. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not into that, and it's definitely not for everyone.
I think I don't mind dabbling into something like that, but at some point I probably would get put off, like, maybe like Danny would.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's really a lot,
But to
and
me,
it's
like,
long
at some point
too.
It's interesting. So.
I mean, again,
This probably would have been better if he did it as an anthology and to start with, but he made a full feature film of this, and it's rough. It's rough to sit through.
I mean, again, a lot of the shots could have been really pared down, edited down.
Right.
This is an 83-minute movie, and even that I thought was long. So
It's
turn it
long.
down to like 45 minutes. Make it a YouTube thing, then whatever.
Mm.
But yo, Shudder, if you're trying to make me spend $10 on shit like this, and this is the first billing on your fucking promo, you gotta step up, because I'm about to cancel my free trial on your ass. Like, this is bullshit.
Shudder does have really good original content, though. They didn't know where to put his movie because it's not technically horror.
Yeah, well.
So it's like they're trying to find a genre.
So
for it to put it in.
I think he just sold it to them because they were the closest thing to
They're like, yeah,
his
we like
category.
this shit.
You know,
I mean, they need
because
to-
he doesn't qualify it as horror
It's not
himself.
going to Disney Plus. So,
It's
yeah.
definitely not going to Disney Plus.
Why not? There's kids in there, right? They're babies. Yeah, of course. Why not?
I mean, they smelt one. It's intense, man. It really is.
So, let's just cut to it, because I don't really know what else there is to say about it. What would you rate it?
I think for the creativity, the overall, the scope, the creatures that live in the world, and just the animating that much content at once, I would rate that a little bit higher. But overall, like, since there's no dialogue, the storyline is a little bit hard to follow, and you kind of have to use your own interpretation. I mean, I'm
Very
probably
loosely.
only going to have to give it like a 3, you know,
Okay.
and that's also being a little generous, like, I enjoyed the movie. That doesn't make it a good movie.
Right. So you were along for the ride, kind of thing.
I was
Like, yeah.
definitely along for the ride, and I enjoyed it. But I mean, I don't think it's a 5-star movie. I want to give it just a little bit of credit for the amount of effort he put into it, the overall creativity, and just literally the struggle of making a stop motion animation, and especially one on that scale. I mean, technically, I was only going to do 2.5, but I mean, I'm going to give it a medium. I'm right in the middle, 3.
I'm sorry. Effort don't mean shit to me. So I'm going to have to give it a 1. Like, to me, it's an experience. So still go and watch it. You get a 1. I mean, you're graded. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is.
But I mean, like a 30-year passion project, you would think it would be delivered something a little bit better if you guys were giving it such a low rating.
But that's my point. Just because it's a 30-year, I
Yeah.
don't care how long you took.
Look,
doesn't
like
mean
I
it's
like I
gonna-
said, I can't give it a 5 because it's definitely not. It's not the Shawshank Redemption, dude.
Right.
It's not like a top tier movie. It wasn't Titanic. Like it's.
I mean,
It is what it is, and
You know
but
what?
it doesn't mean.
Coraline. Give me.
But it doesn't mean it's a shitty. I liked it, but like I said, that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Right.
Yeah. Again, it was an experience. Did I enjoy the experience? Not necessarily. Even the sexual parts just kind of weirded me out a bit.
Did you see the fucking
Demon, or the bull getting jerked
Jerked
off by
off.
3 bloody demon women on their knees?
so weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were just jerking him off, dude.
This is kind of weird passion project.
Bro,
you know what? I want
it's-
to do this. I
that's
want to
my
do that.
point.
Like,
Like,
It's weird.
If you're trying to make a
Not
porno
gonna
with
lie.
your toys, bro, there's avenues for this.
yeah.
But I wanted to talk about, I really wanted to talk about Phil Tippett, though.
Okay, let's do that.
It did take him a long time to do it, and part of the reason he kind of like pittered off was because computer graphics started coming in, right? So he was supposed to do Jurassic Park. He was supposed to do all stop motion animation for Jurassic Park, but then tech came and they switched it on him. So he was concerned that stop motion animation was just dead. They still used him as reference, so he built one of the scenes, so that way because because the computer animators didn't know how the dinosaurs would move. It was too rigid, didn't seem real, didn't seem feasible. So they asked him to build it and like kind of animate it so they can have a point of reference.
George, can you hand me your glass, please?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of those miniature builders and stop motion guys who are,
Stop hose.
miniature builders themselves, sculptors, like, yeah, a lot of it is for reference work too.
Yeah.
Just to build the miniature.
Just to build a miniature of a set,
and then
so
blow it up.
yeah.
And such. So it's to be expected. But
it is to be
This looks
expected.
a lot better and close to the color with the picture.
Holy fuck, that looks great.
that looks like the poop coming out of the electrified.
It
Yeah, I
does.
would imagine.
It kind of does.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah. Especially
I can't wait to
even
drink
the
that shit.
consistency, the liquid consistency of it, yeah.
But I mean, he suffered trauma too, and he had like a mental breakdown. I think
shit, really?
like 4 years before the release of this movie, because it was overwhelming him because it's been a passion project, and he's putting all this effort into it, and it's like he didn't see it like being a success in any facet, and then he had like a mental breakdown. He had to go to rehab.
I heard that he had to. He got a Kickstarter to get this project.
Yes, he got funded to get the project up and going.
A little heavy on the cherry. I had to. What?
No, all those Kickstarters, like, damn you people.
People fund stuff, And I, to be honest, after watching this movie, I actually do know probably at least 8 people that would love this movie. Is there anything else you want? Oh, when we were talking about Star Wars earlier, he made the chess set.
The chess set. What?
The chess set in A New Hope.
Oh, the little
Yeah,
creatures.
Phil Tippett made the fucking chess set for A
Oh,
New
yeah?
Hope. Like, I guess he was on the set for A New Hope, and then Lucas walked by and he saw that he had like little stop motion animation. He's like, hey, Lucas didn't know how he wanted to animate the chess set. He had no idea.
Right.
And he's like, hey, do you think you can make those in like a couple weeks so we can do the chess set scene? Like, that would be awesome to make have little alien monsters for the chess set.
Right.
And he was like, sure,
These are my
That's-
toys? No.
but it's like it's hard to animate that whole scene in that amount of
in
time.
that amount of time, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So they literally worked day and night to just get the
Jesus
shit
Christ.
going. I thought that was kind of cool, because that was like always one of my favorite scenes in A New Hope, with Chewbacca.
Oh,
and-
yeah. he's
yeah,
just
it's
around.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Let the Wookiee win.
So he had worked on RoboCop, you guys said, right?
Yeah, he did work on RoboCop.
What did he do on that one?
I mean, Dia 209
Yeah.
for sure. If
He
you
did-
go back
so
to
it's
the
just,
movies,
it's-
all
yeah.
the stop motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does all the stop motion for that.
And then RoboCop 2 when he fights Kane, Robo Kane.
Oh yeah,
You know,
RoboCane.
yeah, because especially when you get the white shots, Robo Kane's tossing RoboCop around, and it looks very shaky. So
It's a little heavy on
Old
the
school.
cherry. I had to, but
Oh, I'm good with it.
a little better than the first, I think.
Good with it. The other one was kind of like orange juice, and this actually tastes like cherry.
I think, yeah, the best way to do it is use the freshly squeezed orange juice instead of this concentrate shit.
Yeah.
Remind me again.
let
Never to
you-
use
I'll let
this
you know.
shit. Yeah.
I think we're pretty much good on this movie. So I think we can wrap it up. We gave it I gave it a 3, you gave it a 1.
no, you
Let's
cannot
just-
meet in the middle. No,
No,
The meeting in the middle?
nah, you don't get to.
I don't think you can talk him into it.
Nah, it's a solid. It's down there. Watch at your own risk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on there. Watch as your
Don't
own
be
risk.
high.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the drug trip might help get on some sort of level, but
It's a tough one.
yeah.
That's a scary movie to
I
do
can't-
that,
I
dude.
can't think of a drug that I would want to take for this movie. Like, I'm good.
NyQuil.
I'm good. NyQuil, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I did my
For sure.
homework, bro. I did it for you.
Oh, I know. Thank
There
you.
you
I
go.
appreciate it. I'm sorry that you didn't like it. I'm sorry you didn't like it.
It's okay.
If you guys enjoyed our content, like, comment, subscribe, give a little thumbs up. You know, maybe put in the comment what you guys think about this movie if you saw it. Let us know. Do you want to put your Instagram or anything up?
Nope.
Nope.
We good.
We good then.
Yeah.
See you guys.